All right, so today I am going to teach you how to take measurements on female and male. They're a little bit different in terms of what you're going to be collecting for data on those measurements. But first things first, before I get into it, what you're going to want your client to do, or what you're going to do if you're taking your own, is you want to wear form-fitting clothes or no clothes at all. But that's not this kind of show, so we're not going to do that. They are wearing clothes today. And a loose, or one of the loose type measuring tapes. Okay, so you don't want to do the actual measuring tape. That's the metal one. Too hard to put around the body, so you want to just do the loose one here, like I have here. You can get them from any drugstore, Target, Walmart, anything like that. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and measure McKenna here. She is my model. Okay, so what we want to do when we're measuring female is we want to do everything from top to bottom. Okay, so female, we hold body fat a little bit differently than men, so we just don't have as many, we have more touch points than we would a male subject. So I'm gonna go ahead and get her arm first. You do wanna do both arms, sorry if my hands are cold. You do wanna do both arms because one arm is dominant, so you wanna get both, okay? And I go into the medius part of the arm, right, where the bicep sits, and you're gonna go ahead and measure that. You don't wanna make it real tight, it's just a loose fit all the way down to the centimeter, and then you write that down. Next, you want to do the breastbone. So you're going to go right underneath the bra strap, okay? So that's going to go from her back all the way under, and this would be her chest, essentially, okay? Not including her bust. And then we test that, or we measure that, and we write it down. Then we go ahead and get her bust, because as women, we hold a lot of body fat in our chest, so we want to get that as well. So we measure the bust. And then we also get two different parts of the waist. So we're going to get the natural waist, then we're going to get the stomach. And I like to use the belly button as the indicator to kind of, so that I know each time I'm going to be measuring at that same exact spot. So natural waist, your natural waist is, so you're going to, McKenna, you're just going to go ahead and drop to the side here. And that's where the natural waist starts to make that little indentation. Okay, so that's where we're going to measure. I'm going to go ahead and hold it there. We go right around. And that would be her natural waistline. And then I find her belly button, and I would measure right above her belly button, all the way around, making sure it's even. That would be her stomach. Okay, so natural waist, stomach, and that's where you would measure that, because for a lot of women, we tend to lose body fat up at the top first before we start to lose it a little bit lower. So you want to make sure you get those two touch points, especially for women as they're making the changes with their bodies. All right, feet together, we're gonna go ahead and get the hips. So the hips are right in here, and you wanna go all the way around the glute for the hip, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and bring this all the way around, making sure it's sitting right in the middle of the glute and hip, and that's where you would measure that, okay? And then we're also going to get both legs, because again, we have dominant sides. So with this one, I always measure, again, right in the middle from her hip bone and her knee, I measure right in the middle, or I'll measure it up. Usually it's about 8 to 9 inches, and I'll go right from there. So right here, it looks like it's about 8.5. So then I set the marker there, and I go all the way around, and I test the medius part of her leg, okay? I would do both legs with that. Then I go into the calf, because again, we can see a lot of changes in our body, including calf. Again, I would just do the medius part of that as well, right in the middle, measure, and write it down. One thing I would recommend is doing these body composition tests every 4 weeks to see the changes. Obviously, there's a lot of ways that we can measure the success of your client, from their weight, obviously the scale, in-body, body fat, things like that. But the composition are one of the best ways that I like to really test whether a client is seeing those results. So yeah, good luck.